Thanks for joining me today. Debbie here from Debbie's Scrapbooking Buddies. We are going to be taking the 2025 National Scrapbook Day Project Recipe Kit that you can get from your advisor, and I'm going to turn it into 6 borders or 6 pages. Let's get started. So you're taking the 2025 Project Recipe Kit from Creative Memories for National Scrapbook Day, and that comes with all this paper and the stickers. You do not need these fun directions, but I do recommend that you make these pages because they're very fun. But you are going to need the stickers. Other things you're going to need this, the new watering can border maker cartridge, the brocade chain, and the woven scallop. Now, if you don't have, like, this is a chain, use something else that's a chain. This one we're going to trim off at 1 inch, so you could use any like punch you have, just something that's going to be about 1 inch when you're done with it. So just in case you don't have those, you can grab something else, and let's go ahead and get started. So we are pulling out, because we're going to make borders first. If you want to turn them into pages, you can totally do that. So we're going to take one of each of these papers out, just like it shows you here. So one of the orange with the white flowers, one of the dirt, and one of the watering cans. We're going to set these aside only to be used if you're making pages, because those are going to be our mats, okay? We are going to be using both of these cardstocks that are in there, so we're going to need those. So let's set this all here and bring our trimmer over, and we will get started. Okay, so step 1, we've got all our tools. Step 1, we're going to be using the watering can paper, not the border, so we're going to put that in there correctly in the trimmer, okay? And we're also going to be doing the brown dirt and the orange flowers, all the same cut. So we're going to go to page 4. And we're going to cut all 3 of these papers the same way. So let's do that right now and make sure we're still centered so you can still see everything. And we're going to, our first cut is a 2-inch cut. Once again, the paper is correctly in the trimmer. 2-inch cut, another 2-inch cut. Then we're going to do a 2.5-inch cut. And a 2.5-inch cut. Now this is extra, except with this piece of paper. We're going to do a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch. That's the watering can paper only. So I usually do my 1/2 inch this direction. I just feel like it's a little bit easier to see. So I'm going to do a 1/2 inch and a 1/2 inch. Okay. And put this, that is extra, we don't need that. Now we're going to do the next 2 pieces of paper, same way, except we're not doing that little 1/2 inch. So we're going to do a 2-inch. I'm loving the National Scrapbook Day stuff this year. Very, very versatile, very pretty. I like what the designers did with it. Very springy, which I'm totally ready for spring. So 2.5 and 2.5. We've got that extra. And one more time, a 2-inch cut. This doesn't really have a direction on the back. We will be flipping a few of these papers over as we build our borders. So 2-inch, 2-inch, 2.5. If I'm going a little fast and you're working alongside of me, just feel free to pause me for a minute. Okay. I know my husband would probably like to do that sometimes. Okay, let's go back to page 1. Now we're going to use the avocado cardstock. And we're going to cut from page 5. So we are going to do the borders first and then put the pages together so you can see both of them today. If you weren't doing the pages and you're only doing the borders, you don't need to do these mats right here. But because we're going to do both, I'm going to go ahead and cut them right now. And we'll just have them ready to go. Okay, and 4. So we got 3 4x4 mats. Put that there. Now we're going to need to do a smidge of punching. So we're going to grab our border maker system the wonderful paper guide here. Put that in. Okay, and let's look at this. So we're going to be cutting with the brocade chain first. Okay, make sure you're still centered and can see what I see. We're going to put that into the housing unit with the two little feet sticking out, and then we're going to go ahead and punch. This is actually probably one of my favorite ones. It's bigger and chunky. It's really easy to use, and it really has it's a statement. Look how beautiful that is. I love this one. And we're gonna do that one more time. So just bring that over here. Once again, if you don't have the same ones I have, feel free to grab something else that is a chain that you can do it. I also have a little extra paper on each one. So if it uses a little bit more, don't worry about it. You're gonna be totally fine. Okay, put that up there. We'll get this out of the way. And we're gonna do 2 more punches. This time we're gonna punch with the woven scallop. Now I love this one also. This is one of those fun advisor exclusive ones. So if you don't have it, get a hold of your favorite advisor and she can get her hands on it for you, okay? Because I love the fact that sometimes we get little advisor exclusives. So if that's something you're interested in, you let me know. I can tell you more about that. Okay, so we're gonna punch this all the way down. We're gonna be tucking this behind something to give it this kind of scallopy fun edge. But right now we're gonna need to trim that off because this is not a chain. Like this one came off. That's the difference between some of the Border Maker cartridges. And if it comes off, it's a chain. And this one is not. But we're gonna trim it at 1 inch. So I'm gonna put it back in here. Just have it kiss the 1 inch mark and then pile that up. Then we're gonna do that one more time, okay? I love borders. I don't know about you guys. I feel like borders are fun. I have a whole bunch always ready to go. And you pop them on a page, put a few mats down, boom, a page is done. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this in here and do that one more time. You can start at the top or to the bottom. It doesn't really matter. You're just matching this notch up and the big and the little notch in the bottom. And that's all we're gonna do. Let's take that off of here, get it out of our way. And we're gonna use that in just a minute, but we're gonna trim this off at 1 inch again, okay? Okay, this is extra, we can set that aside. And we're gonna go back to page 1 and see what else we need. Let's go back to page 1. Now we're gonna be using the beige cardstock and we're cutting it as it tells you on page 6. Once again, in case you missed it, you can get this handout for yourself by going to my website, that's below. And it's only $2. So you can get this handout and use it as many times as you want, okay? And the link is below to get it. So now we're going to be using the punch with the watering cans, which is one of our brand new ones. Very fun, very springy. Okay. And I'm just going to put a plug in for National Scrapbook Day. If you're not going to one, you can hop on the Creative Memories website and you can locate one close to you. Okay, there's a locator on there and you put your zip code in and you can find one close to you. It's always fun. Sometimes people have a 1 day, sometimes they have a 2 day, you know, whatever. I mean, go to one. Go to your favorite advisor and just go to one. So we're gonna trim this off also at 1 inch. Okay, just touch that 1 inch mark. Make sure it's nice and straight. We're gonna do that one more time. Okay. I do love Border Maker cartridges. They are quick and easy and portable. You don't have to worry about lugging heavy punches around because they're so tiny and just fun. So many to choose from. That is our last punch that we're going to be needing. Get this out of the way. I don't like to work with all this little tiny leftovers. Kind of makes lumps in my pages, and that just bugs me. So grab our trimmer again. Trim this off just about the 1 inch, just kissing that line right there. And there we go. So the rest of this paper, we're going to do some circles to make on our border. So what we need is the largest circle from the custom cutting system. There's 3 of them. We're going to be using the largest one today. And we're going to cut on the inside, because you can cut on the outside or the inside. We're cutting on the inside with the blue blade. So we do have, there's red, green, and blue. We're using the blue today. And we are going to cut 6 circles. You have plenty of paper, so you don't have to worry about trying to save paper as you do this. Okay, so don't worry about that. But we never like to waste paper either. So you got to make sure both feet, let me just show you this. Sometimes I like to flip it upside down so you can make sure that both feet are in the grooves. Because if you don't, it kind of drags the blade sideways and it'll cut your paper. So however you like to make sure that both feet are in that groove, you do that. And we can just leave it in there. And do 6. Okay, there we go. We're done with those. We are done with this. We can get that out of our way. And our last paper, I'm going to go ahead and cut those just so you can see. But you don't have to if you're just doing the borders. But let's just do it since we got our trimmer out. We're going to cut all 3 papers that we just did. There was 2 of each, okay? And we're going to cut all of them. So we're going to keep the paper straight on this, and we're going to be cutting 4x6, 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 and then 3 4x4s. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the arm out. Start on the 4-inch line. We're done with this. Let's just get that out of our way. And 4x6. So we already have a few of our mats lined up over here. So we'll stack all of our 4x4s together. We'll stack our 4x6s together. I like a 4x6 mat. It's super easy to take your 4x6 picture and just trim a smidge off, lengthwise and widthwise, and have a perfect mat. Okay, and then 4x4s are just a fun size to put on your page, and you can almost always get an inch off the top and an inch off the bottom of a photo. So pile that up. We're going to do that again. There's no real direction on the orange paper, so you don't have to worry about that. And 6. And 4x6. And our last one is 4x4. I'd love to hear in your comments, do you like borders? Is that one thing that you like to make? Or do you prefer doing pages? Or do you like to do a little of each? I mean, I like doing each. Both of them. I think sometimes borders are just quick and easy and fun. But I'd love to hear that in the comments. Okay? And have you been to a National Scrapbook Day already? I don't know. There's been a lot that's been going on. Mine is not till the first weekend of May, which technically the first Saturday in May is National Scrapbook Day. And I will be running mine that weekend. So if you don't have a place to go, you let me know. I can hook you up. Okay, I think we are all done cutting, and now we're ready to put our borders together. So let's set this aside. And we are going to put our borders together, then we'll come back and put the pages together, because I know some of you are just going to do borders. So we're going to pile all these up. I kind of like to put them into different sizes. It's just easier when I start grabbing so I don't grab the wrong size. Okay, so you can see some of these are bigger than other ones, and it would be easy to grab the wrong size when you're doing this. Okay, so we got our 2.5, are 2, and then there are 2 strips that are like the 1/2 inch each. Okay, so we're going to take 2 of the 2 by 12 watering cans. So these are our 2 by 12s. And we're going to adhere on top of the 2 by 2.5 brown dirt strips. So let's grab 2 of those. Okay, these are going to adhere on top of this, just like that, in the center. So grab your adhesive, whether you want to use Repo or regular, that's totally up to you. And let's just line this up, because when I'm lining it up, I can make sure that it's nice and straight. Okay, just like that. And we're going to do that one more time. If you love borders, make sure you check out some of the other borders I have on my website. I just did a really fun one with noteworthy borders, and you can do 24 borders. So it's a border, 2 borders for each month of the year, which is kind of fun. Okay, so we want to make sure these are going the right direction. We don't want them upside down when we put them on our page. Then we're going to grab these 2 woven ones, and now we're going to tuck them underneath like that. So it's going to be tucked in on the inside edge of our page when we do it. So I want to lay it out first, and then I'm going to flip it over so that I just don't get it going the wrong direction. And I am just going to bring it so that that very edge is lining up, so you can see that little edge is lining up. And you can really put it anywhere you want, but very fun like that. Okay, so once again, we don't want to get it messed up, so I'm flipping it over like that. And then I'm putting quite a bit on here because I want it to stay. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one because I want them to look the same. And however you decide to do it, it's not going to be wrong. It's just you want them to look the same. Okay. Oops, that was a little crooked. Let's fix that. Somewhere along the line, it got a little off, which is the good thing about using Repo, is that we can fix it. Okay. Much better. Okay, there's our 2 borders. Now we're going to take 2 of the circles, because they're all the same size. We can't mess this up, okay? And I am going to use a couple foam squares. We're going to grab our stickers now, and because we're ready to put all of this together. So down here, we're putting the little tree that's just been planted. So we will add that right in here. And I want to make sure we don't forget anything. A couple little hearts. Let's grab this blue one and this little tan one. And I don't know, we can throw it right in here like this. Okay, and then put some adhesive on that. Get that stuck down about like that. We're going to do the same thing. I brought it maybe like a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to do the same thing over here, about a 1/2 inch. If we want to line it up, we can make it nice and perfectly straight. Okay, like that. And then we're going to do the love grows here. Okay. And I'm going to have to pop this because sometimes I just have to pop things just to give it a little added dimension. If this is your first time watching videos with me, I love foam squares. So yeah, I might be a little bit of an addict, but I just feel like, especially on cards, it gives it that dimension and a more expensive look. And sometimes you just need a little pop up. Okay, so we're going to put that right here in the center. Look how cute that is. Okay, our first 2 borders done. Let's set those aside. Now we're ready to do our next 2 borders. And let's go to our handy dandy instructions. We're going to take the 2 of the 2.5 watering can strips. So these are the 2.5, okay, watering strips. We're going to flip them over because we're going to use the yellow side this time. And we're going to adhere the 2 of the brown dirt strips, okay? So we're going to bring that in just like that, okay? So go ahead and stick that down. So how many National Scrapbook Days have you girls been to? I don't know that I've ever missed a single one since it came out. Love National Scrapbook Days. The other one I love is Scraptoberfest. Mostly because I love fall too. I love fall colors, and it's always a very fun kit. But type in the comments. Let me know where you go to your National Scrapbook Day. I'd love to hear that, and tell me a little bit about it. Who's hosting it and all that fun stuff. Okay, so we're gonna put this down, and because we want them to be the same, I'm gonna bring it down here just so we can see a little bit, because I want them to both look the same. And let's just take about 1/2 inch from the bottom of the brown dirt strip. So find your brown dirt strip, line it up, and we're gonna bring it 1/2 inch up. So it's about like that. So go ahead and put your adhesive on that. And this one, you're probably gonna wanna use your repo tape because you got the little tiny holes. And we've got this at the 1/2 inch line. So that means I'm gonna bring this up just about the 1 inch line, just like that, okay? Then below that, we're gonna go ahead and put some green grass. So if you notice on one of the ends, it's darker and lighter. So I don't know if you wanna go dark to light and then light to dark over here, or however you wanna do it. I don't know, I'm gonna put it right over the edge of this bottom. Just giving it a little bit of green all the way down, just covering the edge of the bottom. And sometimes our cardstock is a smidge bigger than 12 inches, and you can see just a smidge of that watering can. So I'm just gonna trim that off. Okay, so now let's repeat that whole thing again. We're bringing this up. We're gonna put some adhesive on this. And we're gonna put that at the 1 inch line. So it's 1/2 inch from the bottom of the brown. And then we're gonna put the green grass, green leaves. So I started over here, and this one's gonna go over here. So I'm gonna take the dark green, so it goes light to dark, dark to light. I think it'll flow a little bit better. Put that just covering the bottom edge of that punch out. And then I'm gonna grab my scissors and trim that itty bit of a 1/16 of an inch off. Okay, so there's our two borders. Now we're ready to add our circles. I'm gonna add one here and one here. And let's go ahead and stick those down. And I'm gonna kind of center this one a little bit. And do the same thing. I don't know how the weather here is for you today here in the Midwest. Let's see, it was 79 on Friday, and it was snowing earlier today. So that is how it is here in the Midwest. Crazy spring. So good times. And then we're gonna grab a green heart and a little brown heart. I'm gonna fill that little space with that. Then up here, we are going to do, let's put a little, there, let's put that little shovel in right there. Maybe some pruners, about like that. I think we need another little heart. It just calls for a heart up here. And then maybe some words, because we're gonna put digging this, because I like a little pun when I'm scrapbooking. So, got a little bit of a touch of a tickle in my throat today. I don't know, I was outside for a few days. I don't know if it's allergies. Don't know, but let's throw that right in there. Okay, we've got two more borders. We got two more to do. And then we will quick throw our pages together. So for our fifth and sixth border, we're gonna take two of the 2.5, so the bigger ones. We're gonna flip them over. We're gonna use kind of the trellis side of them. Then we're gonna bring the orange strips and we're gonna put those right down the middle of both of them. So go ahead and adhere those. Let's just line it up so we get it nice and straight. Okay. Just like that. And let's do that one more time. Bring that over here. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, you are going to want to do that because you don't want to miss any fun ideas, crazy ideas I have, and you don't want to miss it. So now we are going to put this straight down the middle, the little yellow strip. And bring that in here right at the middle, which if you're using is going to be at the 1-inch line if you've lined it up. Okay, we can do that one more time. And we'll line that up. Just like that. And then we're going to grab these 2 brocade beautiful strips, put a little repo, and this is another reason I love repo. You'd be here all afternoon trying to put little pieces of white tape runner on those. And it's going just so you get a little hint of that yellow. Just a little. Okay. Oops, I pulled 2, and look at that. Always runs out of tape every time I do a video. So let's open another one. You get to see me load it and how easy and quick that is. Pop it in there, put the lid on it. Done. Okay, and yes, when I pulled that, it got a little rip in it, but we will be able to put it right together and nobody's ever gonna know. So let's bring this over here, flip this one around, bring it in here, line it up, start it at the top and bring it down. Then let's put a little bit more on this. Okay. And it broke right there. And line it up so no one knows. Perfect. Okay, there we go. And I will throw just a smidge underneath there. So now we're ready to add our circles to this one. So let's just see where we're putting them. So we can actually cover that little mess up right there and that little mess up right there. So let's stick those down. And this time we're going to be using Planting Joy. Bring that in just like that. Calls for a heart because we love our planting. Cannot wait to start planting here in the Midwest. We really can't plant until like the first weekend in May. So I got a little time to wait on that. But, okay, we're gonna do in the garden, just like this. And because it's gonna be hanging off a little bit, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. We are not going to take the backing off of one. Okay, so this is, we might even have 2 of them hanging off. So I'm only going to take the backing off the first few, and then when we stick it down to the page, we can take the back off. But I just wanted to show you, there we go, and put our little watering can like it's watering something already, like that. And let's throw a little heart in here too. There we go. Okay, so we got all of our borders done, and now we're ready to start putting the pages together. So you can either put these on white pages, or you can put them straight into your album, or we're going to actually put them on some white paper today, because I'm not sure if I'll use all of them in the album at the same time. So let's grab couple pieces of white. I love the bright white. Totally up to you. It would look really good on natural pages too, or beige paper. It would look really good on that. So let's go ahead and grab whatever you're going to stick them to if you're putting your borders down, and let's go ahead and lay out our pages. So if you're going to stick them down and you want them to look like mine, I put them about 1/4 of an inch. And this is in the directions. So let me grab our handy dandy directions. Make sure we're not forgetting anything. Okay. So go ahead, grab your adhesive and put that down. I'm going to put a smidge on the back of this border too, just to keep it all nice in place. Okay, so line your paper up nice and straight. And I'm going to do about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. And line that up and do the same thing on this side. And then we had already cut our mats, so if you were just doing borders, you're all done with us. And if you want to finish and complete 6 pages with us, you are hanging with us still. Okay, now we're going to grab our 4x6 mats. And we're going to throw one here, and grab another one here. Then we're going to grab a couple 4x4s. So let's do that, and maybe a couple of these trellis ones. I think that would look good in here. Now, when you're going to put your mats down, you could not put your mat down at all. You can put it down with a smidge of repo, or you could put these down straight too. So I'll give you a couple options. You could do it like this, you could flip it around, you could do it like that. I'm just going to kind of throw it. I feel like gardening sometimes is a little messy. So I'm going to be taking pictures when I plant my garden and when I plant my flowers. So that's how I'm going to put it on today. You are welcome to do whatever you want to do. You got to do you. And let's put these on just like that. Okay. And that looks pretty good. We'll do one more. Sometimes people only want to put these down with repo in case you wanted to change them. That's always a good idea too. I do love using my repo. I feel like I use a little bit more tape when I'm using a repo. I use less when I'm using my tape runner. So keep that in mind. Kind of want them to look the same on both sides. And now we've got our first 2 pages done. Awesome. Okay. 2 pages done there. And you're going to grab your next 2 pages or grab your white cardstock. I'm going to put those down. Okay, and this one's going to go across the bottom of the page. Okay, I'm going to do good times and digging this. Now you could put one at the top and the bottom. You can do whatever you want. I also, if you're reading my instructions, I put them about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom again, just because I centered these circles. So because I centered the circles, you can't put it straight on the bottom. Okay, so about 1/4 of an inch on both sides. And stick that down. Same thing over here. And about 1/4 of an inch. Once again, if you need these instructions, there's a link below and you can get the printed PDF. There's 7 pages in color with how to lay it out and everything for you. So let's go ahead and lay this out and this out. And let's do a couple yellow because we got yellow at the bottom, so we want to bring that yellow in here. And then let's grab our 4x4s and bring, say, this one here, a little bit of that one, maybe here, and do brown, but let's do green. with little blades of grass. So now all you're going to do is just pretty much just line this up. So you're going to want maybe a 1/2 inch over here, 3/4 of an inch. Do the same thing there. Just line them up so they look nice and straight. Okay. So you got it the way you want it, and probably keeping them the same distance from the top and the bottom. It's going to look nicer and cleaner. So let's go ahead and stick those down once you get them the way they want. Thanks for hanging with me today. It is a perfect day to scrapbook because it's snowing. So I don't know what else you want to do on a cold, yucky day, but I love scrapbooking. And let's make sure that's straight, because that's not straight. That's better. Okay, and your green. And try to line it up on this side too. Now this side I'm kind of gonna want it to look the same, so the same amount of border on both sides. And if when you're sticking the mats down, if you like the other side, go right ahead and switch it. That is totally fine. This looks a little crooked. Looks like I might need to bring that up a smidge. Let's just see. There, that's going to be a little bit better. Much better. Does that bug you when you scrapbook? Does it bug you if it's not exactly straight? Because that would bug me. Unless I'm doing it purposely to be off center, and then that's a totally different story. I'm fine with it then. And there we go. And let's scoot that over just a smidge to line that up. Perfect. Our third and our fourth page. And let's do our last 2 pages. Grab 2 white cardstocks. Okay. And this time we're going to bring them back to the sides. And I'm still doing about 1/4 of an inch from each edge as we lay them down. So go ahead and grab your adhesive, put those down. And make sure my paper's nice and straight, 1/4 of an inch. Perfect. And this side. Now we'll take that back of that off this time. Another good use of that is if it's going to go over a picture, you would not want to take the back off until you put your picture down if you're doing pre-done pages. And let's make sure this is straight. And we're doing 1/4 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. And stick it down. Now we're ready for our last mats. So we're going to do the orange. It's going to pull the orange right out of that. We're going to flip that over. We're going to do one up here, tuck that underneath there like that. Flip this one over like that. And then grab our last mats. So maybe a green one here, green, green, and flower. And that way we've used all of our mats. And then just kind of line it up until you get it the way you want it. That looks pretty good. Okay, line it up and stick it down. So give me some comments, people. What did you think about the National Scrapbook Day kit this year? I think it's beautiful. Let me know what you're thinking. I'm going to drop that just a smidge and give a little bit more room in between each picture. Yeah, so you're going to be able to put a little bit off of your 4. These are 4 by 6, so just take a smidge off of your photos and you're good to go. And I kind of do the same amount of space in between my pictures. It just gives it a nice cohesive look. Okay, and over here. I don't know how long it's been. I'm gonna have to look at my timer, but I want to make sure I can line that up about the same on both sides. How are we doing on time? It's taken us about 40 minutes, which isn't too bad, to do 6 pages. If you just wanted to do the borders, it was about 30 minutes. So you ended up putting the rest of the pages together in about 10 minutes. Okay, so here we go. Hope you enjoyed this today. Make sure you can like and comment my videos. And happy scrapbooking!